Good morning and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Edith and I like to read books and yap about them to you guys. It is currently Tuesday morning and I have been feeling like I need some mood reading lately. But unfortunately, I feel weird doing just like a mood read with me in a week vlog, so we're gonna make it into kind of a challenge. I am going to, this week, while mood reading, be reaching out to my friends and family and however many people I need to reach out for to fill up the week, and asking them to pick a number between 0 and 400, and then they decide the number of pages I read each day. I don't have a lot of plans. And I feel like maybe the days where I know I have plans, I can give whoever's picking that day a smaller amount. I already have a planned which friend I'm going to be asking tomorrow because I have plans with her tomorrow. So hopefully she'll have that in mind and be like, okay, so I'm not going to pick 400. But for today, I reached out to one of my best friends that I met through my physical book club. And I asked her, pick a number between 0 and 400. And she picked 256 pages, which is a great amount. It's a great amount because it's like, it's a lot, but it's not to the point where I'm like, shit, I'm gonna be spending all day reading. And the book we are starting off with is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, because I have just borrowed this from my library. If you missed it, I did that in my last video, which was also kind of maybe explains some mental health stuff if you're curious, because I don't want to get more into it in this video. I might get more into it later on, but for now I just want to leave it where it is. So I picked it up from the library. I also in that video read One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune, and I just finished that. So I am in fact jumping from Carly Fortune book to Carly Fortune book right now. I've just really enjoyed most of her books. Out of the 3 I've read, I gave 2 of them 4.75 stars. We're just gonna ignore Every Summer After because I gave that one 2.5, but I am just intrigued to get more into her and I want to maybe read all of her books this summer, maybe. But I did start this yesterday and read up to page 17. So with that read, we're not going to count that to today. So the fact that we're on that page means that we need to read to page 273. Let me see. Which means I'm gonna be getting to the point where I'm like, I might as well finish the book, but we'll see what I feel once I get there. I just wanna see. Ooh, it's actually on a chapter, so, but it also leaves me this much of the book. But that means I have to read this much today. So far the book, I've only read the prologue, which takes place in a summer 5 years prior. And I forgot her name. Lucy is supposed to go to Prince Edward Island with her friend Bridget, but her friend Bridget ends up coming like a day late. So she's there alone, where Bridget's family is from, and she meets Felix at this restaurant and they immediately hit it off. They do hook up in the prologue. So if you don't like, I guess like insta love, insta attraction sort of thing, maybe don't read this. I'm not normally into it, but for some reason I feel like I could really like it in this one because it then turns out that Felix is Bridget's little brother. I still don't know what that means age-wise, and it scares me a little bit because I'm like, because she made a specific comment when they were doing it where she looked over and she saw some kind of book on his night table and she was like, kind of a weird reading for somebody in his 20s. So now I'm like, is he not 20? I mean, obviously he's gonna be, because it then jumps into 5 years later where Bridget is supposed to get married, but like what, right before the wedding or something? Yeah, a week before her wedding, Bridget flees from Toronto to Prince Edward's Island. I'm just gonna call it PEI because I know that's what everybody else does. She then goes to PEI and then Lucy kind of drops everything to follow her, but I also think we're gonna get all the summers in between because apparently Lucy goes to PEI every single summer then, while also trying to like fight the fact that she really wants her best friend's little brother. But I'm interested to know how much younger he is because I don't think I've ever read like an age gap where the girl was older. It's always the guy being older, but the guy's also always very much older. So I am very intrigued about this entire thing. While I don't normally love the like insta lust, I don't know why when I was reading the prologue yesterday, I was like, wait, this is tea. This is kind of interesting. Now that I've told you guys what this is about and my first initial thoughts, let's get right on into this reading vlog. All right, it is only 4 or something in the afternoon. Let me check. Oh yeah, it is 4 in the afternoon and we have reached our goal for today, which means we are now on page 273. And it also means that we have exactly 60 pages left of this. I'm really enjoying this book. Actually, I will say I'm really enjoying it, but I do have a few qualms about it. I think for being this far into the book, I would like some more emotional depth between the characters and less lust. And yet it's not that. It's not like I don't feel the fact that they like each other and know each other. I just don't feel like we have seen the parts where they get to know each other and spend some actual like quality time together. Every single flashback is always centered around one of their hookups, and the future timeline has a lot of other stuff going on. So I feel like it would have been perfect if the flashbacks were used to give us just a little bit more emotional depth. But I feel like the only one that really gave us actual emotional depth was the one from a year ago, which kind of explains why it's been a little bit weird between them since. Lacking emotional depth. And I feel like it could be over now. So why is there 60 pages left? They are happy. And I feel like we could wrap this up in an epilogue right now. I know we won't because I looked it up, so I know there's going to be a third act breakup, and I don't want it. I'm genuinely left, I don't want to keep reading because in my brain it could be over now, but it's not. There are 60 more pages, which means third act breakup, and it probably means a rushed third act breakup because how else are you in 60 pages going to build up an actual reason for these characters to separate and then get back together all in 60 pages while also wrapping it up nicely? Whereas right now we could have an epilogue be her best friend's wedding, seeing how they're doing by then, maybe even an extra epilogue like a year later or something. But that's not how this is gonna go. There are 60 pages more left and I don't like that. I don't like it. But other than that, I've had a really fun time. I, like always, really like Carly Fortune's writing, her entire like setting the scene sort of stuff. I love this setting. It makes me want to go to Canada whenever I read a book by her. And I do really like both of our characters. I really like them and I do like them together. I just wish we had seen more of the build up for the emotional connection instead of just being told, oh yeah, they have an emotional connection because they like know each other. And I'm like, but we didn't see them get to know each other. Also, the entire reason for why the friend upped and left to go to the island a week before her wedding has been revealed, which is why I'm also like, this could be the end of the book without me complaining. It just felt a little bit melodramatic. Like, I don't know. Like, it could have been revealed beforehand. Anyway, which brings us to our next friend deciding how much we were going to be reading. And this is the friend that I'm going to be hanging out with tomorrow. So this is why I wrote to her, because I was like, you know, we have plans, so I feel like you should be the one to pick. And so she said, I feel like it shouldn't be a lot. And then she said 184, which I know it's not at all as much as today. It's 100 pages less. Still, it is a little bit much. It would mean that I would need to finish the 60 pages in this and start our next read, which I think I've finally decided it's going to be Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. It's very different vibes. We're very much going from full-on summer vibes to extreme fall vibes. But it would mean that after the 60 pages of this one, I would have to read the first 124 pages of this. But if I had to make it to a chapter, it would be 128 pages, so to here. And so, because, like I just said, I have plans tomorrow, I was kind of thinking we might get a little bit ahead. I know that might be cheating, but this is my video, and therefore I decide what to do. And I think I will probably be finishing this off today, because like I said, it's 60 pages, and when I did the like read with me for an hour video, I read like a lot in those 60 minutes. Like I read over 70 pages, so it would take me less than an hour to finish this book, and therefore I'm like, I want to do that possibly tonight when I get into bed, so that way for tomorrow we really only have to start this book. I'm also not great at finishing a book and starting a book on the same day, so it would fit well to finish. This summer will be different tonight, but we'll look into it. Maybe I won't. I have put in the bookmark just so I can remember where I'm supposed to be reading till tomorrow. And I did decide to go, oh wait, I might stop at page 123, which would be one page less than I would have, like it's telling me to read. Or I might get really into this. This is also on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm probably also going to download it onto there so I can like switch back and forward. Specifically when I'm like leaving the house, I can bring the Kindle. But I am excited about this book. So that is our update for now. I will, of course, start by trying to finish this, and I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow afternoon or nighttime when I have finished the reading for that.
Alright, I am here with a nice little daily reading update. First of all, this summer will be different. I did finish this yesterday and I think I landed on a 3.5. The ending really annoyed me. I think we've already been over kind of what I did like. I did really like both of our characters, and for the most part I really like their relationship, and whenever we got scenes with them I thought they were cute. I still wish the book had had more focus on building like the emotional stuff, except for the spicy stuff. But with that said, and then the fact that the ending pissed me off, other than that, I enjoyed this book a lot and I did get through it all in one day. I don't think I would have if I hadn't been doing this challenge. I would have probably spread it out over like 2 days or something, just because I did have moments yesterday where I was like, okay, I just want to put it down. But I'm very happy I read this, and I do really want to read the Meet Me at the Lake. Is that her other book? Pretty sure it is. Yeah, Meet Me at the Lake. Is that then the only Carly Fortune book I have not read now? I do want to get this physically, so I can have all of her really pretty covers next to each other on my bookshelf. So I read the 60 pages in that yesterday, but I am doing this thing where like if I read over the amount, I get to like subtract it from the next day. So that did mean we subtracted that from today, where we started our new book, Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. A big switch up. We're going straight into the autumn vibes with this one. It does take place in October. I mean, there are flashbacks to last summer. Does that count? No? Okay. I am officially 100 pages into this, and I had to read 129 pages. So we do have 29 pages left. But I feel like that can be easily done. We went on like a whole excursion today. I filmed a little bit of that. Had a lot of fun, but I also was so tired when I got home, and I had such a headache, and I low-key like cried the minute I walked in the door. Because in case you missed my last video, I am not doing great recently, but we're not gonna let that be the focus of this video, because it was already the focus of my last video. So we're switching it off here. But I did lock in on my Kindle because I just knew I had to get at least 100 pages into this before I could like let myself put it down for a little bit. But I will try to be picking back up the physical book and reading some more. But basically so far I am really enjoying this, and I am happy to be back in this world, and I'm loving the vibes. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing. I really, really do. And I'm happy to be back here. It took me a little bit because I've got to be honest with you guys, even though I gave it 5 stars, I don't remember a lot about Ninth House. Obviously, I can't get too much into what this is about, but it's the second book to the book Ninth House, and I have a reading vlog of that one too, if you guys want to watch that one. It's dark academia. It's a dark academia fantasy with like a little bit of horror, but also like the fantasy is very like, it takes place in our world, but there's some magic stuff happening, if that makes any sense. And it's just so interesting, especially because I feel like, yeah, I just told about you guys that I love Leigh Bardugo's writing, but I feel like her writing from some books are so different from this one. Like, if I didn't know, I probably wouldn't have guessed that this was written by the same person who wrote Shadow and Bone. And I probably wouldn't have guessed that those two were written by the same author who wrote Six of Crows or King of Scars. Like, she does such a good job of creating different, not universes, because like all her other books except for The Familiar, which I've not read, takes place in the same kind of universe, but it's still, she does a really good job of setting different vibes and tones for each book series. And this one is specifically like completely new, totally different, and I am loving it. Yeah. So I have also texted the friend who's going to be picking tomorrow, which is my oldest friend that we'll be asking in this video. Just my oldest friend that I still talk to, honestly. And I asked her, and she said 282, which is almost the same amount as yesterday. And if I read to the page number that I was planning on, no matter what, for tomorrow, we will be getting to page, I think I said like 410. If that's wrong, I'll put up here, but like 410 or something. And that would leave this much of the book left. So is there a chance we're gonna end up having to finish this tomorrow? Yeah, There is. I want to make sure tomorrow that I don't text who's going to be picking next until I'm done with tomorrow's reading. So that way, the like reading ahead, I'm just feeling like maybe I'm purposefully reading ahead to not have to read as much the next day, and then I end up still reading more than I need to each day. Today, I'm not sure how much I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be reading as much as I have to. So to page 192, 129. But I'm not sure I'm going to be reading more than that, less than that. If I do read more than that, we will subtract it from my reading for tomorrow. So that was all I had to say for now. And I'm going to go get ready for bed. Even though I'm already sweating. I was actually comfortable 2 seconds ago, and now I'm sweating because I'm sitting in my room with the door closed. I'm going to get ready for bed, tuck myself in, and get back into this book. Was I pretty sure I was gonna finish this today? Yes, because the place I was like gonna stop, or was supposed to stop from the number my friend picked, would literally have left me with like 68 pages left. And like when I get to that point in a book, we know I just want to finish it. Do I think I would have read this much in this video if my friends hadn't picked this different stuff for me? No, I do not think I would have. Because like, even if they haven't picked huge numbers, it has just always ended up to the point where I then get so close to the ending of a book that I have to finish it. This was no different, and I'm actually really happy. I feel like this book just deserved to be binged. I would have been scared that I might have like pushed it or like drawn it out too much if I hadn't read it for this specific video. I absolutely love this. 5 stars. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I need September to come right now for multiple reasons. We all know I really, really want September to come for, you know, fall stuff. I need the last book in the series so bad. I just have like a list. By a list, I mean 2 books, but I'm sure I could find more of books coming out in September. And the day this comes out, I'm gonna go to the bookstore and I'm gonna buy at least those 2 books, maybe even more. Because I am so excited for what is to come with this series. It is hard to talk about a sequel in a series without getting into spoilers, so we're not gonna talk too much about it. I loved everything about this book, honestly. The only thing I had was the like hard to get into, but then again, not really. I feel like that was maybe just because I was like going by train when I was starting it. So like I was out in public trying to start a book that does have a lot. Like you need to be prepared to turn on your brain for this one. It's not like a quick, cute little romance or anything. You need to have your brain on. And it also doesn't help that my memory sucks. So I kind of forgot some stuff about Ninth House, and I was like, okay, so what is actually going on, but the minute I felt like I got back into that, in love. And I can't fault the book for my bad memory. So I just love the people in this, and I love Leigh Bardugo's writing. I think I said that earlier when we were talking, maybe. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing so much. And I do only have one book by her left on my physical TBR. Maybe I need to add The Familiar to my shopping list of books I'm looking for, because it's the last book by her, I think, that I haven't read yet. Maybe she has some other ones that I've just never heard about. But other than that, the only ones I have left is the King of Scars book that I have on my physical TBR, which reminds me that this was also on our 2026 TBR, because so was King of Scars. And now we read this, which means I only have 2 books left on my 2026 TBR, which is Jane Eyre and King of Scars. I'm trying to save both of those for like actual fall, at least saving them until like the end of October. But it's looking good, and it's the last of my like bookish goals for this year that I need to reach. Yeah. Also, I don't know, I've been talking about my reading goal on and off. At first I set it to 40, hit that pretty quickly, then I set it to 60, and I hit that in my last reading vlog, the summer ween one. I hit the 60 mark, so now I've upped it to 80, and if I do hit 80 in September, the latest would be September. If I hit it before the middle of September, I'm gonna up my reading goal to 100. But that does mean I have reached my reading goal, and I'm very happy with that. So if I end up slowing down when I go back to school or something, that would be okay. I'm just saying, so far, everything is looking so good. So we have another 5-star to add to our list. I have had 8 5-star reads this year. If you had said that to me a few years ago, I would have been like, only? But that was because back then I threw 5 stars left and right. I've really been getting rougher with my ratings this year. Honestly, I've gotten to the point where I kind of don't want to rate stuff anymore, because I feel so conflicted most of the time if like I actually know how to rate stuff. I don't think I actually know how to rate stuff, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. 5 stars is a feeling, and I'll stand by that. But after 3 days, we have officially run out of friends to ask. Yeah, I have few friends, but I love all of them so dearly, so that is okay. Which means we are now moving on to family members. And of course, we have to start with my mom. If you're unfamiliar with the fact that I love my mom, I literally live with her and did a reading vlog at the start of the year where she picked the books I was reading. So I texted her the same thing to all the others: pick me some pages between 0 and 400 to read tomorrow. And now it's already too early in the afternoon for me to say this, but I'm sure I'm just not gonna read anymore today, because I've already read 68 pages extra. But my mom did pick 150. I kind of knew she was gonna pick like a lower number. So our next read is gonna be May Luna by Kelly McNeil. This is one that Madison Kate has been raving about, so it is one of Matt's picks for the summer reading challenge. And when I saw it was on Kindle Unlimited, I was like, I need to add this to the TBR, and I officially feel ready to read it. I think it's gonna be sad, because she has said it's gonna be sad, and if there's one thing me and Madison Kate does, it is cry at books. So I'm gonna be reading the first 150 pages of this tomorrow. Obviously, because it's only 150 pages, I will not be subtracting the 68 pages that I read extra today, but I will be saving those 68 just in case for some of the next couple of days, because you never know. You never know what some of the people I'm going to be asking might say. I don't even know who I'm going to be asking the last couple of days, but just in case, let's save those extra pages for that. And I will see you all. I'm probably going to film a little bit throughout tonight, depending on what I get up to. Maybe I'll have a cozy movie night or something. I'll film maybe a little bit, but otherwise I will see you guys tomorrow to read 150 pages of May Luna. Okay guys, it is later in the day. It's about nighttime. By nighttime, I mean 7:30 p.m. And I am exactly 151 pages into this. I got that far into it kind of early today. I was about to say like right before dinner, but I feel like I maybe looked at my computer or something. But like at 4 p.m. or something like that. I got to the point where I needed to get in May Luna. Really, really loving this. And I did text my dad, which... it's his first time even, I was about to say even being talked about, but I'm pretty sure I've mentioned my dad before. It's his first time being like asked to do anything for a video. And I was like, I have no idea what he's gonna do. He could either pick a really high number just to do it. He could pick a really low number because like, there's a difference in what people view as a high number and a low number. He picked 283. That is the third person out of the 5 I have asked this week to give me 280 something. And like, not complaining because we have gotten some great reading done. However, 283 pages is finishing this book plus reading 40 pages more. And I'm kind of in the mood to do some more reading today, so I'm gonna get a little bit of ahead of that reading. I do also have the 68 pages from yesterday that I read extra to kind of single stuff out. Which brings me to the idea that I'm pretty sure we're going to be finishing the video off tomorrow with this book, because I do like to have like 3 books a video unless it's a specific other sort of challenge, like my last reading 7 books in 7 days vlog. And also just like, I know some people do these like weekly reading vlogs over a 5-day period instead of a 7-day period. And I'm running out of people to ask for pages, and it feels weird to start another book without knowing if I can finish it. So we're kind of, in a way, we're disregarding my dad's pick, but we're also not, because like, I don't think I would be finishing this book tomorrow. Who knows, maybe tomorrow we'll start another book together still and read those 40 pages to get into a new book. But I will not be reading a full book more for this reading vlog. So I feel like I should let you guys know that. May Luna, however, I am loving it. And I don't think I have that long left. It is 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I'm hoping to get that down just a little bit more before I go to bed tonight. I kind of want to be done with my reading before my mom gets home tomorrow, which is also a great reason to finish this video off before then, because then she's gonna get home and all of this sort of stuff. So I will be reading some more tonight, but I will see you all in the morning to finish this book off. Maybe start another book, maybe just finish the video off. I will decide on all of that when I see you guys tomorrow morning. as you guys can see, I have taken a minute, ate lunch, stuff like that, to gather up my thoughts. I'm literally about to start crying again. We finished technically today's reading. Technically, if I add all of the days together with the 68 pages extra I read when I finished Hellbent, I have still, even though I didn't read the amount I was supposed to today, read 20 pages more than I was technically supposed to this week. So it's time to talk about this book. I actually don't even know what to say. I'm gonna put my hair up even though it's wet, but I'll put it down on this after. No, I take it back. Okay. It's getting hot already and I just closed the window. Let's just start by getting into what this is about. Meiluna is a band, and we are following this woman, Evie. I'm so bad with remembering names from books. We meet Evie when she's with her kids. They're a little bit older, sitting around, and she finally decides that it is time to tell them a story about her youth that they know nothing about. And at the same time, we're also getting the POV. We're also getting the POV of Carter, who is the main singer guy from the band Meiluna. And he's finally sitting down on a plane ride to Rio, having an interview about this story that they have yet to tell anybody ever. And then we go back in time, but it is told like we are her kid, Evie's kids, and this reporter hearing this story for the first time. And then it goes back to when they first met, when Evie was in the start of her 20s. She was like not music writer. She was like a writer for magazines about music, like interviewing music people, writing about like concerts and stuff like this. And then she meets the band and Carter. And their story unfolds over a lot of years. We obviously know some stuff because some of it is like, and we know that she's sitting around talking to the kids that she had with another guy, and like the puzzle pieces just slowly being put together. I feel like I'm describing this so badly, but we're following a band, and one of the like band's girlfriend, kind of Daisy Jones in the Sixth-ish, with like the found family and all of this. I cried a lot at the end of part 1, and then the more we got into part 2, I was like, okay, I have no idea where this is going. And when I sat down with 30 minutes left in the book, actually I think I almost got to 15 minutes left in the book, and I was sitting back and I was like, I don't get why people cry that much. Like, yeah, I cried when part 1 was done, but I haven't cried since. And I'm like, what on earth is gonna happen? What happened didn't even cross my mind as an idea of something that could happen. So yeah, you guys saw my reaction to the ending. I was literally sitting around and I was like, okay, I know this isn't like over yet, but what on earth can happen in 15 minutes? And everything can happen in 15 minutes. Oh, I'm having such a hard time rating this one because obviously such a big emotional response makes me want to give a book 5 stars. But then I'm like, I had 1 or 2 moments in the book where I was like, okay, now we're kind of dragging on. Oh, I hate saying that. I love this book. Do not get me wrong. We are talking about the difference between a 5-star and a 4.75. But I think the fact that I'm questioning it means it's a 4.75. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll be editing this and be like, it's been days and I'm still thinking about this fucking book and it has to be a 5 stars. For now, we'll land on a 4.75. Just know, my brain is all scrambled. But I think we're gonna leave it at that. I really think we are. I can't sit here and talk more about this. So here we have the 3 books we somehow just read in like 5 days. I know I had already started this, but basically didn't. I'm so happy I decided to do this video. To sum it all up, first reread This Summer Will Be Different in basically a day, and I gave this 3.5. And then reread Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, also almost in one day. Technically 2 days, but like almost one day, and gave it 5 stars. And then May Luna, which is a 4.75 stars. I'm sticking to that, 4.75. I'm not gonna revert back to my old days of giving a book 5 stars just because it made me cry. It's not just because it made me cry, the writing also. Oh. Now I'm thinking of all the stuff I need to tell you guys about this book. The writing, so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. Just the story, they were written in the stars. And if you read the book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They were literally written in the stars. No, my Kindle. It's okay. Now I'm back to having to decide what I'm gonna read next. I'm probably not gonna start another book today at all, honestly. I might start the tandem read. I think I might prepare them at the very least today. I want to put tabs in the chapters where I'm supposed to switch from book to book, so that way I don't accidentally get sucked into one book and then forget that I'm supposed to switch. But that's not important. It's nothing to do with this video. So this was our lineup for the week, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, comment anything you want to see, something like this, maybe a wheel picking how much I read, maybe my friends again picking the books I read. Let me know any ideas you have for videos because I'm so open to doing anything. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And with that said, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!